Good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about my TELT project, which was creating digitized versions of reading and resource lists at UCS Ipswich. This is something that I am working on within my role in the library anyway, but I think that it's an important part of technology-enhanced learning and teaching. So everything that you'll see today has been created in a platform called LibGuides, and it is an academic library kind of industry standard. Everything that has been created is something that I've created myself, other than the incorporation of the UCS logo at the top. So the point would be that students often get their reading list, or they always get their reading list in their module packs, or they're located on the VLE. For us, it's in Learn UCS. But students sometimes struggle with actually accessing the titles and the resources on their list. So I wanted to develop this digitized version to make it easier for students to do so, to access the information that they need. So the idea would be that students would be given this link. It's either going to reside on the library web pages, or it will probably sit within their module on Learn UCS, and students would just access their list by going to the department that their course is on. They're also given access to their librarians and their academic skills advisors, so they can just click on their department area to get the information about those people. So if we were to click on the Department of Psychology, Sociology, and Social Work, we would be taken to that page for reading lists. This is where you'll see the different course areas. So you've got psychology, criminology, sociology, counseling, and social work. Obviously, these haven't been populated because it would be the second stage of the project, but the goal would be to have all of these areas populated so that students could look at any reading list that they wanted to. So we've got your level 4s here, first years, second year, level 5, or level 6, third year. So once this was completed, all of these modules would be hyperlinked. For the purpose of this project, I've only done 2. So if we go into the key thinkers of criminology first, and I've included both the module code and the name of the module, because I don't expect students to memorize the actual module code, but if they needed to do that, or if they needed to search for that, they could. So now we are on the reading list page for this module, which is called Key Thinkers in Criminology. We've got my picture here because I'm the academic liaison librarian for that area. Students can quickly email me, or they've got my number there if they need to contact me, and then a link to my blog. You do have the option to add a website. I just decided to put my blog if anyone wanted to look at it. And then links to different social media outlets. So these are all linked to the UCS Learning Services social media accounts. So if students wanted to be involved in that, they could. So what I've done is I've got obviously the essential reading over here, as well as the recommended reading, and these were all just taken from the reading lists themselves. So the idea would be that students can just click on this item and it will take them to the record in Summon. And it also this also provides the students with the call number. So if they were just sitting in the library, they could look right here and say, okay, this item's shelved right here. I think I will probably end up removing the ISBN and the publication date, just because it kind of clutters up the screen, and I don't know how much the students actually need that information. So it'll just be we'll see. I've also added the academic skills advisor for this area, and it's actually not Erin, but our academic skills advisor for this area, Jo, doesn't have her profile set up, so I've just kind of put Erin in as a placeholder, so you can kind of see what it would look like. So again, these are all the recommended reading books for this for this module, but I've also added the journals that are going to be the most useful for these students as far as how it's been set out in the module. So I haven't made the choice as to what journals to add to this box. These are all in the module handbook. So again, a student could just click on the journal that they were looking for. So if they did that, this would then take them to our record. So if we go over here, and so students could just access the journal by clicking on that link. If we go back though, sorry while I click around here. Okay, so now that we're back on this page, if we scroll down a bit, we've also, went too far, we've also got links to some example searches that I've put together. So this is something that I've looked at the module handbook. I've looked at the different items that the students would be studying, and so I just put together a kind of example search. So if I clicked here, this would then take us to the summons search that I've put together. So as you can see, I've simply just put Durkheim and criminology. So now students can see what other resources we have available to them, or how they may structure a very generalized search if they were looking for something. And that is the case for the rest of the example searches. I've just put a few keywords together to give the students kind of a starting point to go from. These are links to the module websites. So again, these are all taken from the reading list. This is a very basic reading list. So you see it goes all the way down. There's lots of recommended reading for this area. But I feel like it gives the students a lot of information kind of right at their fingertips. There are other ways that modules are set out. So for example, if we go to this comparative youth studies, this reading list is a bit different. So this reading list has weekly readings, which is something that probably be used to at the master's level. So now, if we scroll down, we've got the readings by each week. So if students go to week 3, they can see what they need to be able to read for the week. And I'm working on how to get so that this link doesn't overlap the border. I think I'm just going to have to put it in as a bit.ly, so we'll see about that. But yeah, so the idea is that the student can look each week, what they're supposed to be reading. Sometimes it's a journal article, sometimes they just need to look at a website. And all of these links take those students directly to that information. And I guess you could say that, well, aren't we spoon feeding them? But there will be some students who understand how to do the searching and how to find their articles, and some that struggle with it. My point of view is that as long as they are accessing it, I'm not too worried about how they get to finding that information. I would hope that over the course of the 3 years that they're here, they would be able to build their skills so that maybe they don't actually need any support in trying to find the materials that they need. So again, because this module, their essential reading was just part of their weekly reading, I don't have an essential reading box. I've got the recommended reading, which is here, and you'll notice that it is a mixture of books and journal articles, as well as some websites. So I've just added all of those in, along with the books. So you see this is a website. And then just because I wanted to kind of make it look a little bit nicer, I've just done this big long column for the further reading. So you've got all of those there. Again, you've got my information and Aaron, or it would be Joe's information on the side. Yes, I've also added Aaron on this one. And again, we've got our example summon searches. So a student who, because in this module they have kind of weekly themes. So again, I've just put these example searches together for the students to use. Now this box right here that says subject guide, we're currently building subject guide pages as a library project. So this would be where there would be a link to more information that would be useful for the students with regard to their subject as a whole. I've also added videos to this one, so if there is a particular video that students were being asked to watch, whether it be on YouTube or as part of our streaming service, I've just embedded that information here so a student would be able to click on it. Obviously, they would have to log in order to access it, but again, it's right there, so they don't have to go digging in the VLE to find out, what was that video that I'm supposed to watch for this module. Eventually, there will be a link to if there's any book chapters that students are being asked to read that are made available to them within their module. So links to that would be here, but obviously it would be a link back into Learn UCS because of copyright. We can't just put PDFs of book chapters online. And so again, we've got the module journals, so the journals that would be the most useful for this module. Right, so that is pretty much what I've done for my project, and my hope would be to be able to populate this for all modules, for all course areas. So it's a big project, and hopefully it'll help students engage with the reading list more.